TD log, December 22, 2023. Well, we're facing 2024. It's among us. Well, for some, hate to be dooming, but part of my vlogging is the fact that our days are numbered. So, with that in mind, how are you doing, everybody? By the way, any thoughts that I share are my own, and none of my friends or family, associations, connections, they're not likely to agree with what I have to say. And maybe you might, and if you do, of course, let me know if you do. In the comments, all that business. So, what I've had a tradition of doing for many years. I write a list based off of the 10 Commandments of my goals for for the new year. I will write it down, the battle plan. I call it the battle plan because we are in a warfare, and that might be terminology that might not be appropriate for some people, but I mean, essentially that's what we got going on. So what is your plans? How are you going to attack next year? Maybe that's bad terminology again, and that might not be the right words to use, but it's funny when you have to think hard about what to say, because what you say may not go well. So take a look at Exodus 20 and use the 10 Commandments to kind of direct your path for 2024. And I do still believe that you don't want to make any huge decisions next year. Anything that you can do within your capabilities. Don't be trying to be too ambitious next year. I mean, harness your ambition, harness your goals, your objectives, and let me know what you think in the comments. But for sure, be smart about your decisions. So you may not have got anything out of this vlogging so far, but basically it's important for me to kind of vlog for my own my log, my TDDAMITS log. So I could look at this maybe a couple years from now if the digital content still exists, because we can't really count on stuff that we can't count on. Things that are analog, we could probably count on more than the things that are digital. So be wise in 2024 and be very critical. Think critically about any of what's going on, and try to avoid getting into your emotions, because your emotions are like just from the term in motion. You don't have your emotions to be. Try to harness your emotions and read the word. At least read the word daily. Try to get into an everyday Bible study program, and try your hardest to fast as often as possible. It doesn't necessarily have to be from food, but it could be from food. It could be from sweets. It could be from something that you really like. It could be like, I try every weekend to minimize my digital use, because of course I say minimize because you can't really I mean, these days you can't really just get off the digital, because there's text messages and there's telephone. There's all kind of different things that that you do with the digital. But if you minimize it, avoid playing video games, avoid watching stupid videos, you know. I mean, I'm just encouraging people to be intentional. Be very intentional about what you're doing with your life. Be very intentional about your direction. I'm mostly speaking to myself, because I know that if you're watching this right now, it's probably like way down the road, or it's actually you just saw it. You know, I'm unable to make any good thumbnails right now, because I just am trying my best to use my time wisely. And of course, video content is probably not the best use of time, but this is kind of like my own personal log that people could look down the road. Because I mean, in 2020, in January, I do remember I was going to do a log every week to talk about what's going on, my current heart's desires, stuff like that. But we all know how that went. So that year, we already know how that went. And now it's 4 years later. We're almost 4 years since that event. And so, do you expect the unexpected? You know, if you're familiar with the word, you'll know that it's going to be times that it's going to go well, and there's times that it won't go well. So what are you doing to anticipate the unexpected? What are you doing to be more intentional? So if you take away anything from this quick vlogging, be intentional and be thoughtful about what you do next, and hopefully it'll go well.